But at the end of the day, Chelsea also went through more men than Jennifer Lopez, right? So it's the same Russia, it's the same billion.
But we're going to start off with some big news in the football world. And, the owner of Chelsea, Roman Abramovich, is has put Chelsea up for sale. This is as a result of the war going on in Ukraine. And we're going to talk a little bit about why that is. But let's bring the panel on the inside. So inside with me, we got the man Big Phil, the Bajan out there in Canada. We got Devin down there in Miami. And right here in the Caribbean with me, we got the man Tony Stark, aka Herms, and Zachary. How you gentlemen going? Everybody good?
Hi, good night. Not bad. You?
Good, good.
Now, I know for some people they might be wondering, well, who is Tony Stark and why is he here? Does the world need saving? And Tony Stark is a Chelsea supporter, and I thought it'll be important to get the perspective of a Chelsea supporter when we jump into this whole conversation. So, Tony, tell me, how do you feel about this news about Roman Abramovich putting Chelsea up for sale? And then we're gonna get into that a little more. But how do you feel when you heard the news? What was your thoughts? What's your thoughts on the entire situation right now? Actually,
Yeah. Thus far, I like what he did since coming in to the club. Knowing his close affiliation to Putin, I don't believe. I believe this was calculated beforehand, knowing that fully well if Putin made a certain movement into the military operations, as he is saying, in Ukraine, this would have been the fallout of it. The try to get at the oligarchs' money. I don't feel panicked or think that the club would be at risk. He is just doing what he has to do to make sure the football continues and his legacy doesn't die due to this whole geopolitical fiasco going on here right now.
All right. So you are saying that you think it was planned. It was well, at least let me don't say planned. It was at least expected.
Yeah.
He would have had it in his mind that is a possibility. This is how things may play off. I want to share this with people because I want people to have a clear appreciation of what exactly is on the cards for Chelsea right now. So take a listen, and then we're going to broaden the discussion.
Absolutely incredible statement from Roman Abramovich. Just to go through it quickly, first of all, he confirms that he is going to sell Chelsea, and he also says that the proceeds from the sale, the net proceeds from the sale, are going to go to a charitable foundation, and that foundation is going to benefit all victims of the war in Ukraine. He also says that he will not be asking for his loans to the club to be repaid. Bear in mind, he's put in about £1.5 billion into Chelsea since he bought the club 19 years ago. And he's also saying that he doesn't want a quick sale. He said that all due process will be followed. He wants this done properly, not quickly, which would seem to suggest that he doesn't think that his assets are going to be frozen by the UK government. Because if he was sanctioned and his assets were frozen, he wouldn't be able to sell Chelsea. And he also says that he wants, if possible, to be able to visit Stamford Bridge one last time to say goodbye properly.
So guys, now that we have all the information in terms of what Roman Abramovich has put out there, right? Talk to me. Anybody has any thoughts or any questions for the Chelsea supporter before I share my opinion on this.
So my question now going in is, I've seen so far that there's going to be two bids right now that seem legit. One of them was with I think it was a guy who was a co-owner of the Dodgers, and there's another guy, an Egyptian fellow as well, who has a separate bid right now. Are there any two of those bids right now, if you're aware of them, that you favor one over the other, and why?
You're muted.
You're muted there, Tony Stark.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I don't really favor one over the other. I think some might disagree. The capital investment is good. I guess once you could get together a good team, but I have no preference. Once the ambition is to make the football great, I really don't have a preference who comes.
Well, let me just say, I hope that somebody with an NFL team, an American, take all it over. You know what I mean? Hopefully you all may end up with the same kind of struggle that we have at Manchester United. You know what I mean? Because you know what, somebody like Roman taking all it over, because that would be good. Because they would just keep pumping the money. We don't want that. As I think this didn't happen 2 years ago, else we might have seen the sheikh from Saudi Arabia on the inside. What you was going to say? What question you had there, Zach?
My question was, did you hear the rumor about Conor McGregor wanting to buy Chelsea? And what do you think if he did buy Chelsea? You think he would do a good job being the owner, or you think that would just be shambles?
I think it'll be a part owner. I don't think McGregor had that kind of money. I am thinking he's talking that kind of money. he might be the face, but to say nah. I don't think I have a vision for that. I don't know how much he loves soccer or football, however they want to coin it on that part.
Conor McGregor is English, so he.
Oh yeah, but Irish, yeah, so football. Yeah, so I really say it's more antics than anything else.
I hear a lot of Chelsea supporters rubbishing Conor McGregor's interest in Chelsea, and as a Manchester United supporter, probably we have a different perspective, because we know that you don't need money to buy a football club. You just need proper connections and a bank willing to lend you money.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So I understand you look at Conor McGregor's bank balance and you say, well, yeah, he can't buy the club by himself. And that makes sense. But at the same time, nobody don't need to buy the club by themselves. I mean, Premier League teams' balance sheets show, is a very profitable entity to own. And if you find a bank and institution willing to lend you that kind of money, I wish I had that money right now. I mean, I would buy all. Yeah, I'd buy Chelsea.
I don't think
I will get relegated, but I will buy all this stuff. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't think like this. Because he'll be more concerned himself. I don't think it's right case. Maybe a distraction more than anything else.
I hear you. So Martin Phillip is saying good afternoon. Chelsea owner says that can say anything because he has been offered 2.2 billion and it was rejected. The British government have not said what they will do with the oligarch or with oligarchs like him. So he has some time. I want to put this out there. And before you leave, Holmes, I want your opinion on this as a Chelsea supporter. I don't believe Roman Abramovich is going to sell Chelsea Football Club. I believe this is straight out of the Russian, how I should put it. The KGB doesn't exist anymore. I can't remember what the new organization is, but the Russian intelligence agency playbook. Because here he is, he's saying, I'm putting the club up for sale. I'm going to give the money to charity, not just any charity, but a charity specifically that helps Ukraine, victims of the Ukraine war, Ukrainians. So all of that sounds good, right? But I am also not rushing to sell the club. And he understands that the only way the sale of Chelsea could go forward is if the British government does not freeze Chelsea. Because if the British government freezes his assets, which does not just include Chelsea, he has a number of multi-million-dollar homes in England and some other interests, right? Real estate and other interests. If his assets are frozen, then he would not be able to sell the club. He also would not be able to gain revenue from the club. As long as they remain unfrozen, he's in a position to sell the club, but he's also in a position to access all of his other assets. So I think this is just a play. This is just a kind of PR something to kind of put it out there, because in England right now, there's a lot of pressure on the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. The opposition and other MPs are putting a lot of pressure on him to start seizing the assets of oligarchs in the UK. Now, there are two reasons why he has been resisting this. People have to understand that London, unlike a lot of us think New York is the center of everything. No, when you're talking about the center of finance, especially loans in the world, the same way it was in with the Atlantic slave trade, everybody used to go to London to get loans, to go and buy ships, and go to Africa to get slaves and come to the West. It is the same way it is now. London is a very important and probably one of the most important places when it comes to finance. Everybody knows about Lloyd's of London and banks such as that. So if London was to make this move, because everybody likes to think about legitimacy. There's a lot of illegal money floating around in the world. You don't just have legitimate people owning stuff. You have oligarchs, you have mafia bosses, you have all kind of people. You have Saudis running, not Saudis, you have Arabs running countries that have questionable human rights stuff going on by them, that have money and investments in England. If they move on the oligarchs legally and seize their stuff, it is going to have a ripple effect, because trust me, it's not just Russians going to be afraid. Anybody might start questioning, well, maybe the UK is not the place I need to put my money, because if that is what they're going to do to Abramovich, if they get vexed with me, what are they going to do to me? You understand? So there's a reason why they haven't done it as yet, but it is something that is on the table. And so my final question to you, Holmes, is this: do you think he is serious about selling Chelsea, or do you, like me, think he is just putting this out there so that they would leave him and his assets alone? And obviously, whenever this blows over, well, obviously he will still be owning the club.
Yes, I think it's good optics from the international relations side. Remember, they have people from Belarus kind of, I wouldn't say broken, but doing some negotiations with Ukraine and Russia right now. So, the quote unquote have a ceasefire. So, Putin have his pride, and Ukraine, they want to show, okay, not easily quote unquote conquer the left. You all was 91, I think, and we want to have some level of sovereignty. And Putin would want they to back down, not him retreating. So I believe Abramovich is paying nice taxes. You never hear he's short on taxes when the year comes. So they need for the Europeans to see, okay, we want to be rough with you. So I believe it's just more optics, because the word I say, like, I want the due process. With that, they can come back to fire, they can squash this whole military operation, and everybody go back hunky-dory. So I believe they're just right in time, and it's okay. You need to look good, and I need to say something. So we coming fair, but not just it. So I agree, it's just for the optics, because there's too much money to be made. Just to trade away because somebody in jail. Or quote unquote in jail, as they say.
So you agree with me that it's just for show?
Yeah.
Well,
So
I mean, if the fact that is out there, if 2-3 other people come with some reasonable bids and he keep rejecting it, I think the gig will be up faster than anything else. So we'll see how that goes.
My whole take is that, you know, Chelsea has been built successfully on two things: Roman pumping money into the club, and also Roman has a high turnover at the club as well. So when Tony Stark said he likes what Roma has done to the club, no, you don't. You love what Roma has done to your club. There's no like, there's love. That man should have a statue outside of your club because he is the reason Chelsea Football Club is Chelsea Football Club today, right? At the end of the day,
I agree with that.
yeah, because at the end of the day, I personally didn't know any Chelsea fans prior to 2003, just to let you know, right? So I mean, my whole take, because I've been hearing from other Chelsea fans as well too, is that they know they will get taken over by a billionaire, right? But they don't know if that billionaire will be as ruthless as Roman. At the end of the day, Roman did pump money into the club, but at the end of the day, Chelsea also went through more men than Jennifer Lopez, right? So it's the same it's the same billionaire that's coming in that's going to take over Chelsea, right? Are they going to do a whole hire and fire? Is that a whole rotation system that's going to happen at Chelsea, right? Because at the end of the day, Roman introduced you to Jose Mourinho. Roman introduced you to the likes of Iron Robin, Drogba, right? So it's two things, like I said, the high turnover at Chelsea, and also the money that he's pumped in. Because at the end of the day, I did a calculation, and within the 18 years Roman has been there, it equates to about 120 million per summer transfer window, right? Give or take. So yeah, Chelsea are the English Kim Kardashian. Boy. But yeah, that's just my take though. So you know, if an NFL owner does come and take you over, well, good luck.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, no pun intended though.
Well, Tony Stark, thanks for taking the time to be in part of the program. I wish I could say I wish you all the best, but I can't say the same for Chelsea Football Club, right? So have a good one.
All right, take care, guys. All the best, man.
Hey, if you appreciate what we're doing here at the United Hour, please like, please subscribe, and let's grow this community.